Good morning guys, it's 7 a.m. and as you can see behind me, everybody's starting to wake up and get ready. We have a departure that we can leave at the earliest 8 a.m. when people are allowed to walk on the trail. But I'm just going to go and find out from the Fjallraven staff at the tent up there which way to go when we get started. There's a view of the tent pitch area for the first day. It's like a little farm fields. Sorry, not farm, fields. And the pitches were fairly level and they've done it up really well, including the sanitary facilities, etc. So they had some stuff last night, but I was way too tired. Even though it's a fairly flat hike, no extreme ascents and no extreme descents, the number of kilometers makes up for it, and I was really knackered last night, so I couldn't do a video. Sorry about that guys, but I'll make up for it today. It's just about 8 o'clock and we're getting ready to leave now. A lot of people gathering here. So I got everything packed. Hopefully the weather will hold today as well and it won't be too sunny or too cloudy or too rainy, because yesterday was actually pretty good. But we'll take a look and see, and when we start off I'll put this back on again and try and catch you up with yesterday. It's about 5 minutes to go, and once we get started I'm probably going to be a little slower, so I'm going to kind of chill at the back and then slowly get going. I've started at 8 o'clock. You don't have to start at 8 o'clock. You can start a little bit early if you want, but the trail opens at 8. But I'm going to start at 8 because I'm a little bit slower generally anyway, and I want to get to the other camp in a reasonable amount of time. Quite a few people queued up or waiting to start, and I think there's another 3 minutes left. And there's quite a few tents still out there in the fields as well, so people are starting in a staggered manner. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There you go, the trail is open. 8 o'clock. Here we go. Okay, so we're about 15-20 minutes in, and it's thinned out a bit. There weren't that many people starting at 8. I think there's quite a few people starting in a staggered way. As I said, it's not required to start at 8. Just a second. The glasses are slipping off, guys. Put them there. Okay, so let's see where to start. So I think, I'm not sure whether I mentioned this earlier, but I think what the Denmark Classic has is the distances between checkpoints and between camps, whereas the others are difficult because of a lot of ascents and descents, and Sweden in a very different way as well because of the length of it. But the Denmark Classic is definitely not a walk in the park. I think it's all the more difficult for me because I've gained 10 kilos since last year and I haven't been able to actually train this year at all. I've done a few kilometers here and there around Copenhagen, but that's about it. So this is not the easiest, and yesterday towards the end actually was pretty grueling. The hills, the rolling hills, you do go up and down a lot on that first day, and because, as you guys know, I have a wonky knee, and that started to aggravate that knee a bit, so I took it a bit slow, but I still got into camp at 5 p.m. which wasn't too bad. It's, I think, the first time I've actually gotten into a camp not being the last or not being really late, so I'm happy for that. I started off early this morning because I thought I'd make an early start because I will be slow and I still want to get to the checkpoints and the camps at a reasonable time. Now, one thing here because of the fire and the hunting season here, one thing that they've said is that you need to start only after 8 and you need to finish by 7 p.m. and that's mostly because of the hunting season. The fire hazard, because of the extreme dry weather, has caused some restrictions in the actual camping at the checkpoints, so there's only a set designated area to light your fires and your stoves, which makes it a bit difficult when you're really tired to kind of walk over to a designated area to make your food. So last night I was so tired I couldn't be bothered walking. There I just had some of the rye bread that was left over with some spread and some snacks and some water. I couldn't even be bothered to go and heat some water for a coffee. So that's kind of I understand the reason, but it's kind of a bummer when you're really tired. But other than that, the organization has been pretty good. I would say that I don't want to be so Danes, please don't take offense to what I've just said or what I'm going to say on the first day. I think I've changed my opinion now. It's the third day now. I've changed my opinion. Please watch on to the third day and see why I had that opinion to begin with and how you guys have actually changed my mind completely. Be negative about this, but I think the Sweden and the Germany classics, they felt a little bit more organized in the camps and in the people who were around, a little bit more friendly maybe, although it's not that everybody hasn't been friendly. Everybody has been super friendly, but the Germany classic especially, everybody, the volunteer staff there was super friendly. What I did notice was here the staff are super helpful, like they're helping, there's a lot of families with small kids, they're helping the families with small kids, they're really looking out for you as well. So I think just like the other Fjällräven classics, it's up to standard. It's a different trek, I'd say, than Germany and Sweden, and it's a good experience to have, so I'm glad I came on it. So today is going to be mostly downhill from what I saw, and then flat, and I think that's along the coast, and then there's a little uphill before we get to the camp tonight, sorry, the checkpoint, and then we need to continue up a bit, I think, till we get to the next camp, but it's not like a rolling hills type of thing as yesterday was. But when we stop, when I get a chance to stop, I'll have a look at the map again, because I did take a look at it yesterday, but I'm not sure where exactly that last camp is where we'll be sleeping. I think there's a little bit of a climb, not too much, and I don't think it's that much of a distance. I think the majority of the distance is covered in this first part of the trek. Okay guys, I'm putting you away for now, and I'll bring you back out again when I can either have something interesting to show you or when I think of something to say. There's some nice views. Oh, more wheat. I know I've been talking about wheat a lot this hike, but I've never seen wheat this close up really. And for some reason it mesmerizes me. Go, you can see all of our trekkers in the distance there. I believe we're heading towards the coast now. Going through a little village here at the moment, and I think we've reached the 5 kilometer mark. I see a Fjällräven sign there. Oh, not 5 kilometers, sorry, 30 kilometers. So there's 26.4 to the, what is it, camp? This is now 30, so we've done about 3.5, 3.6. Cool, okay. So it's through this little village, and I imagine we end up back on a track again at some point in time. These are the types of places I like. If I had the car, I probably would have stopped and bought some stuff. Got some interesting old stuff. Okay, let's see. Which way? This way. One thing I actually try and do is take a look around me as I'm walking. I noticed earlier, before I started filming actually, that when I walk, I look at my feet and the path, but I very seldom look up and have a look around me to see what it's like. And I think it's important when you're doing these treks which have some beautiful scenery and nature that you do take time to even stop and take a look around and see what's around you. And while you're walking as well, if the path is letting you do that, to kind of just take in what's around you. I think that's really important, because then you remember a lot more of the trek that you went on. Looks like we're coming up to some water, and looks like we're coming up more or less to a level area. I don't think after this we're going to do any more climbing, but you never know. Well, at least until we get really close to the next checkpoint, at which point I believe we pass through a forest and then we climb up a little bit. So far it's been a nice trek, and the morning's been quite nice. It's not been too sunny and not too cloudy. Let's see if the weather holds out. So on the second day, as you walk through the village and come out, you come up to this nice little forested area with a lake around it as well. It's quite pretty. In the morning it's really quiet. After yesterday's hike, I'm feeling a little bit more tired than I did yesterday morning. Oh look, there's some ducks or some loons. I'm pretty sure now we're starting the coastal part of this trek. You can see out there in the distance the, well, not open water, but the sea, at least from this side of Fundet. A little inlet here, and I can see some sailboats there, and I can actually smell the salt. So yeah, we started the coastal part. Let's come to a little cafe, and I think I'm going to stop and have a coffee for a while. So I'm have a little bit of a break here. I'm having a hot dog. I've got some coffee and Coke for the road, and I'm going to have an ibuprofen as well after I eat this. I think excuse me. I think this place is going to get a lot of business in the past day and today as well. I just pulled out the map for a bit to see where we are, and I think so. We've started here, and yesterday we stopped there and we slept over here, and I believe now we're somewhere over here. A little harbor place there, I think. And we got, yeah, just near 35 kilometers, and we've got another about 10 to go. Yeah, okay. Going to chill for about another 5 minutes, and then I'm going to head off. Hoping a stopping place for our Fjällräven trekkers. I'm also looking at the bottom side of this, which shows the elevation, and I believe now we're coming up to, what did I say, 35 kilometers? So we're about here. So we've done some of the flat ground, and we've got another bit before we come to the camping, and then we start to ascend again. Change to sandy instead of muddy. Here we go, 35 kilometers. Guess what I found? More wheat. Yeah, I know. I don't know. It just mesmerizes me. I love the little kernels. The little heads, ears, the wheat ears, that's it. That's the word I think. Oh, it's a little bit like Sweden, or the Swedish classic. You got these for kilometers and kilometers and kilometers up there. And there's our little blue ribbon to say that we're still on the right track. Actually, the markings, the trail markings have been pretty good. The ribbons combined with the normal trail markings have been really, really good, and I haven't really had an issue so far finding the way. Fingers crossed, touch wood. But yeah, that's one thing that's been really good here, is that for sure. I was actually thinking for a very long time this morning and during the trek whether I should find a place and jump in. But I don't think I will this time around, because a couple of things. The towel I have is not very good. It's not a fantastic towel. The other thing is I realized that first possibility to shower is going to be when we reach the finish, and it's salt water. I don't like that sticky feeling the salt water leaves on you, so I think I might leave it, but you never know. The water actually looks pretty clear. Over there you can see kind of sandbars. There's some kayakers there as well. I'm having second thoughts about jumping in. I got time, let's see. So we're really walking along the coast now. Look. Water's pretty clear. I am tempted. I'm sorely tempted to jump in. Only thing that's keeping me from jumping in is the fact that it's salt water, and I don't think I'll be able to stand the sticky saltiness of the water as it dries on me, since it's humid as well. So yeah, I think that ibuprofen I took back there at the cafe helped a bit. I'm not feeling as achy in my joints. Okay, let's see. Get up here. Up. Made it. Okay, continue on. In some ways, this sandy terrain, when it gets like really sandy, it's a little bit more difficult to walk on than just normal ground, because it kind of sinks in and it takes more effort. A little bit like a dike here. Okay. Getting tired again. Come down on this one stretch of beach here, which is a little pebbly and difficult to walk on. I might actually take a bit of a break here, since it's almost an hour. And I need a bit of a sit-down break. A couple of people taking their kayaks and looking for a place to camp as well. I think I saw some sleeping pads, and looks like they've got pretty big sea kayaks there. Cool. So this area of Denmark, I've understood, is quite popular for campers and hikers and stuff, because it's a little bit more hilly, and I think because of the coastline as well, the archipelago and the islands around here, there's a lot of people who come here for vacations, not just during the summer but also during winter. So I think it's quite popular amongst the locals as well, and that's probably one of the reasons why there's a lot of locals on the Fjallraven trek this time as well. So far it's been nice. I think it is tough. It's not a walk in the park, even though Denmark is fairly flat. It is still tough, and that's, I think, purely the number of kilometers which you have to do, as opposed to, as I mentioned earlier, as opposed to the ascents and the descents. I'm contemplating dipping my feet in, but I'm conscious of I don't know, I'm just conscious of my blisters now, or they're perhaps going to be blisters, so we'll see. Okay guys, so I thought I will actually go and try dipping my feet in. So, a quick one though, not a very. Oh, there's jellyfish in here. Yeah. If you are coming for a swim during this time of year, it's one thing you do need to be careful of in Denmark is the jellyfish. Okay, let's see. Ooh. Blister plasters have stuck together. Just going to dip my feet in and then dry them off a little bit and head back again. I think I'd rather take my break here than at the checkpoint. It's going to be really crowded. There's lots of flies around though. Okay, all right. Whew. Okay, let's see. Somebody else taking a little bit of a feel of the water down there, I see. Oh, avoid the jellyfish. Rocks are really difficult to walk on. Oh, it's refreshing. Yeah, it's cold. It's really cold, but it's refreshing. Seaweed. There's one jellyfish over there. Where is he gone? Over there somewhere. Yeah, there it is. Okay. I'm just gonna wiggle my feet around a bit. There's sandy bits over there, but it's predominantly rock and seaweed. Cool. Yeah, I'm not going to get in because I do smell the salt, and as I said, I don't really want to get. But these pebbles actually are quite nice on the underside of your feet. It's like a little bit of a foot massage. Okay, that's good for today. That's my adventure for this trek. Okay, I'm just gonna show you guys the jellyfish and then I'm gonna put my shoes back on. Or dry them off and put my shoes back on. Can you see that? Where's it gone? There. Can you see that? Oh, there you go. I'm not sure whether this is the stinging type or not, but there's a bunch of these during a certain season here, and you need to be careful if you do go in. And I'm not sure whether this is the season. Actually, maybe one of our Danish friends watching this can tell us. Okay, time to clean off and put my shoes back on. I think it was a really, really good idea to stop and dunk my feet in the sea a little bit. That really refreshed and revitalized my feet. So it's feeling a little bit better than it was when I stopped. And also stopping there for a bit of a break was good. It rejuvenated me a little bit to be able to walk a little bit further. Okay. Oh look, this is wheat. Yeah, wheat at a different stage. Cool. It's got the little hairy bits on the ears. I guess it's getting ready for harvest maybe soon. Actually, I thought this might be a good time to actually talk a little bit about stopping and taking your time. I think when you do a trek like this, your instinct is to try and do it a little bit as quickly as possible and just kind of get through it to the next checkpoint and make it as quickly as you can so that you get to the end and place where you can eat and rest, etc. And also it's a definitive mark. I think it's good to actually take your time for a number of reasons. One is you pace yourself so that you don't get overly exert yourself with bursts. The other thing is to stop and take a look around. There's a lot of nice stuff on these treks, which is one of the reasons why they do these treks in these places, and also one of the reasons why at least I come is to see some of the scenery and experience nature a bit. So stop, have a bit of a look around, experience some of the stuff which the area has to offer you, like dipping your feet or having a swim. And if you look at my Germany videos, you'll notice I took a dip in the freezing water near the waterfall there. And that type of stuff just adds to the experience, and you'll remember it much more. And as long as you can make it to the checkpoints and the camp, that's all that's required. So you don't need to be there as soon as possible, 3-4 hours ahead, because the only thing you'll do at the campsite as well is just sit around. As I was just talking to one of you guys just now 10 minutes ago, he said he got there quite early yesterday, but there wasn't much to do in the camp anyway, so he had maybe thought maybe should have taken a bit more time on the trek just looking around. And there's lots of nice things to take a look around, so take your time. Yeah, I think that's important. The other thing is when you take your time, you also notice things like blisters and whether you need to take a rest, and taking a rest regularly actually helps to be able to finish the trek in a good state. Unless you're a trail runner with loads of experience and stuff like that, or a really experienced hiker who can just go through, etc. I think for most of us who are just doing this as a pastime, a hobby, I think we kind of need that little bit of a chill walk just to be able to take stock of your body and see when you need to rest. So I think the key here is when you need to rest, when you feel you need to rest, when you feel you need to drink, when you feel you need to eat, just stop and do it, and take note of what your body's telling you, and also take a look around, enjoy the scenery. I think those things are really important. So a little bit of a tip for you guys. I rushed through Sweden and I regret it. The Fjällräven Classic in Sweden, and I regret it. I wish I had taken a little bit more time and kind of enjoyed the scenery and the nature and getting through that. So that's my little takeaway from my first experience. Some beautiful scenery on the way here. Okay, it's a nice sailboat. I don't know if you can see that. It's hot, the sun's come out and it's beating down, and it's fairly hot. I might get out my hat soon. I wonder actually, I've been talking and saying that this is wheat, but I wonder actually, given the amount of rye bread they eat here, but it's actually rye. I actually don't know the difference between what the wheat plants look like and the rye plants look like. Any of you guys have a better idea, please do comment down in the description. Otherwise, when I get home, I'm going to take a look on Google and see what these are, because I've been referring to them as wheat, but it just occurred to me that maybe they're not. Okay, a little bit of a forest, which is nice. Oh, yeah, it's a nice little house there between the trees. Okay, so if I remember right in the description, at a certain point we turn away from the coast, and then we go through what they said is a nice little forest until we get to the camp, which is the first checkpoint. So I guess we're getting pretty close now. Right, this way. Okay, I guess I'm about an hour later than what I should be, but that's okay. I stopped and I chilled and saw some nice scenery, so I'm pretty happy with my timing so far. So, and that, as I mentioned, that stop by the sea and dip my feet in actually helped my feet to no end. There we go. Little orange stickers on the backpacks, if you can see. Still on the right route. And there was a blue ribbon there if you guys didn't see that before. Okay, I'm gonna probably switch this off till we get to the checkpoint now, just so I can focus a little bit on walking and also just save some battery here. So there's lots of little places like that where little kids are, you see the guys there buying some as well, where little kids are selling drinks and cakes and stuff for the Fjallraven trekkers. Very entrepreneurial little kids here, but it's cool, it's nice. So I got a cake and I had some apple juice from her just to help the entrepreneurial spirit. I think it's really cool. I guess I was wrong. We haven't come to that little forest place. We're still walking along the coast. Water's pretty cool though. Still tempted to take a dip, but I'm not going to. Okay, blue tent, Fjallraven sign. First checkpoint of the day. I'll probably hang here about half an hour or so and then head off, just catch a breather, take the load off my back for a while and then head off to the final camp. Whew. I think the majority of people who have been behind me are coming in now slowly. I saw a queue at the check-in desk, so I'm going to pack up, get a battery for this and put that in, and then I'm going to just get my shoe socks on, chill a little bit more and then head off down the track there. Okay, so I've taken a bit of a rest and I thought I'm going to head off now. It's 1:45. Head off now and just take it easy. It's about 9.5 kilometers from what I saw, or nine and a half, something like that. So just gonna take it easy and take more breaks along the way, I think. Yeah, that's the right way. Just checking whether I missed the turn. Oop. It's a little difficult to keep your balance on these sometimes with a backpack. I've readjusted the backpack, by the way, guys. I was feeling that the distance between the shoulder and the waist was too long, so I reduced the distance between the shoulder and the waist. It's quite surprising because I think I've reduced it to almost the smallest it can get, and I think that's about right. So these backpacks, these Fjallraven Classic backpacks, they actually are supporting a large torso length from what I can tell. They're really good. I really like the Kaika. I have this 75 liter, and I know the backpack is heavy because it's made out of this canvas, but I really like all the features and the way you can adjust the harness in both the width and the length as well. And I like how it's got all these little compartments and cubbies and pockets and stuff like that, and you can open it from the top as well. So one day maybe I'll show you guys the backpack and why I like it so much. Maybe not on this trip, but maybe afterwards. Tell me in the comments if you guys think that might be helpful for you. I know there's loads of videos out there reviewing it, so just let me know if you think that might be cool. Okay. Here's the gate. I wonder what they're keeping in or out here. I don't think there's any cows or anything inside here. Okay. Definitely not a stream you want to swim in. It's a bit muddy and murky. Okay. Got a nice little side path here. Shady, which is nice. The sun's come out, so it's quite intense in the open. The stream's flowing rather fast, actually. I noticed this part of the trek has loads of bugs, little flies, mosquitoes. I just got bitten by a few mosquitoes. I sprayed some repellent on me now, but so far, I suppose it's done a bit of good, but there's been at least 3 or 4 mosquitoes which have been trying to bite me while I'm walking. So there are quite a lot of bugs here. So if you're susceptible, make sure you either wear something long or you have some better bug repellent than I do. If you keep your eyes peeled, it's amazing what you might spot. Look at that. Look at that field. Yeah, there's a lot of nice flower fields here. Bench, I might have a sit. Oh, overlooking the flower field. That's nice. Whew, so I'm going to take a break here. It's not that shady, but at least I got a bench and a view of the flower fields there. It's actually quite interesting. I saw it between the hedges, so if you keep your eyes open as you're walking, there's actually quite a lot of stuff that you can see. I noticed, but you gotta not just look at your feet. That's actually quite beautiful. I imagine in the evening, later on in the evening, it's even more beautiful when the colors are visible more. Okay, 10-minute break. We've done about 45 kilometers now, so I think there's about another 5 kilometers, and then we're at the checkpoint, the camp for tonight. So I rested for a while and off again. I think, I don't know, probably about an hour left. Going through a forest now, which is welcome because out in the open it's like really hot. You can see me sweating maybe. It's whew. We have a little bit of a climb on this, or an ascent on this leg towards the final camp for today. It's not that heavy ascent, it's just that when you're tired it feels like it's heavy. While I get a chance actually, and while it's cool, I thought I'd say thanks to all you guys who stopped and said hi to me on the trek, recognized me from the vlog, from this channel. Thanks, it was really nice. I loved meeting you guys and having a chat, and there are numerous numbers of you who came and said hi, and I really appreciate that. So if you guys do see me on any trek or anywhere else and you want to say hi, don't feel shy, just come and say hi, please. I love it, and I really like to meet the people who watch my channel and talk to them. It really helps me to get to know you guys, so that was really nice and unexpected as well, so thank you very much, I appreciate that. Okay, so I think I'm pretty close to the final camp. I imagine it's like maybe 1 kilometer max to, can't imagine it being much more than that since it's supposed to be like 9 kilometers from the last checkpoint or thereabouts. So, and everybody passing me says not much further, and there's a lot of people passing me. I'm glad I'm taking it a little slow though, not just for all the other stuff to see around me and things, but also just to keep an eye on my knee and not stress it too much, because I've also got tomorrow which I need to finish, so that's key for me. And it's like 4:15 at the moment in the afternoon, and we have till 7 p.m. to finish, so there's more than enough time at the moment. So I'm not going to stress this knee out and put tomorrow at risk. Okay, so I'll switch you guys back on when I'm nearing the camp. So here we are, guys. 50 kilometers. Can you see that? 50 kilometers. So we're pretty close now. I think it's 51 point something that the camp is at, so not more than 1 kilometer or 2 for sure. This final little piece to the camp is quite nice actually, shady. Lots of nice large trees. The shade is very welcome. And what I have realized is in this heat, a liter of water from checkpoint to checkpoint is not really enough. I was rationing towards the end, and I am rationing now as well, because I don't want to finish the water and then be thirsty, so I'm taking a gulp at a time. But you need a little bit more than a liter, maybe 1 liter 500, so that you don't ration yourself in this heat. If it's not hot, I think 1 liter is enough. Okay, here we are. Made it. The final camp. Red Cross is setting up Is that a hint? There's the blue tent. Famous Fjallraven blue tent checkpoint. And all the tent places down there. Okay, I'm gonna check in and go and find a tent place. Okay, so I've set up my tent. Can you see it there? Oh. Oh, look at all the other tents. It's getting busier. Here we go. I've set up my tent and I've opened it all up so that it's like completely open. I'm gonna leave it open. I'm gonna go and see whether I can get my shoes cleaned at the handwag shop. It's open also when we get in, but I thought today might be less busy. So great, got them all waxed up. Guys were really helpful. The laces were a bit naff, so they got some new laces on there as well, and got a little jar of polish. So that's really nice. They kind of gave me some pointers on how to take care of them, and also for the little. If you see there on the side, there's a little, the stitching is coming out. They suggested that I send, that I email Handwag, and then they can organize to kind of get it back into the factory, and then they'll sew it up for me and get it all done. And I was talking to somebody else, and they said the Handwags, if you wear down your sole, that they'll actually replace the sole for you as well. Of course, that costs, but they'll repair the sole for you. So really good service. I'm happy with that. Look at all the tents. Let's go down and see what the bonfire is like. Apparently these woods are owned by a private company, the same company that owns these jungle stuff, and they're allowed to do a bonfire because it's their own. Oh, look, they're doing the bread on a stick. Oh, and they're going to have some live music too.
Hvordan gik det med græshopperne? Har de fået noget sådan? Okay. Så de har fået lov at bo lidt der?
Ja, det er bare flot.
Der var også mange.
Den første morgen.
Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down.
Do you mind if I take a video of you doing that?
Don't let me down. Don't let me down.
It's not thick, but I think you will make it anyway.
Okay, cool.
Just to watch you.
Let me just get my my bottle.
Down the line, 5,000 pursuit. I swear I want.
So this is snurbrød, twisted bread, Danish traditional bread. Sun's going down. Get a much better view of all the tents at this time. It's quite a few. And apparently there was close to 1,000 people on the full Danish Classic this year. And in our group, our starting day, apparently there's about 400, or there was about 400. A few people dropped out, so just under 400. So that's a lot of tents. Okay guys, I'm going to head off to bed now, so thanks for joining me so far. Stay tuned for the next last day.